is affordable housing. So we need affordable housing for people who work for the city, our first-time teachers, first-time law enforcement. This is what Augusta we need in this community. So thank you very much for being here, and I'm super, super excited to see what you're going to bring to us. Thank you very much.
Good morning. There's not much else that I can say that hasn't already been said other than this is just a great occasion. I have the honor of serving this community as its District 1 Commissioner, and this has always been something that we have been working towards for the last 3 years, making sure that affordable housing options become a reality in this community. And it would fall when it was my turn, right? Making sure that affordable housing is a reality in the community. And here we are finally at a point to where we're able to highlight the goodness that's happening here on Laney Walker Boulevard. And like Commissioner Scott said, we're talking about affordable housing that'll meet the needs for folks regardless of where their starting point is in life. We're looking at this as an opportunity to provide the necessary housing for those who will invest in this community. And so I have very little to say, but the biggest takeaway that I want to leave here is just simply that this is good. This is a good day. This is a great opportunity to lead the way on affordable housing in the Laney Walker Bethlehem community. And so on behalf of the commission, certainly on behalf of the city, we want to thank Director Welcher. We want to thank Administrator Dowse, because this is something that we've been working on for a long time. And so, Director Welcher, congratulations as always. Thank you for your hard work. And let's continue to chart the path for more developments like this in this area and beyond. God bless you.
There's some downsides to speaking after three great speakers who basically took all that there is to say. But I did manage to find a few words that I want to express to my community, Augusta. I was not like Commissioner Scott and did not have the pleasure of attending a dance here every Thursday, but I have many of friends who had great pride within their hearts of attending school at Immaculate Conception. Back in 2016, when there was a vision from Mr. Hawthorne Welcher, our department director, to acquire this property, I knew then that something great would come upon this ground. But what that would be at that particular time, I did not know. So I too, sharing the excitement of the community as well as the commission and our mayor, that this is going to be something great. I am excited to be able to say that I had a part in this project and what will happen right here in our community on Laney Walker. So I thank all of you for coming out to show your support and to witness this momentous occasion. To our developer, to our director, and to all of the staff and the commission and the mayor, thank you. And we have great things in store.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. My name is Denny Blackburn. I'm with Woda Cooper Companies. And I can promise you we will build a much sturdier building than the actual... No, it is a great opportunity to be here today, and quite frankly, it's hard to come after these illustrious speakers that spoke before me. But on behalf of the developer, I would like to just spend just a few minutes to thank the whole community, because this is an example of how development should be. I mean, we were able to meet with Hawthorne Welcher and his team. And Hawthorne, not only did he involve just the housing development department, economic development department, he involved the whole community. The Augusta Land Bank got involved. The Augusta Housing Authority got involved. The zoning department helped with the PUD rezoning we went through. And to make a long story short, the city council, I should also mention, of course, provided funding for this development. To make a long story short, all of that put together enabled this particular development be the top scoring application in the whole of the state of Georgia in the 4% tax credit round. So we are so excited about bringing this to the forefront. There's going to be 64 units at this particular location, 25 one-bedroom. Let me make sure I get the figures right. Yeah, 25 one-bedroom and 39 two-bedroom units. It's going to be affordable workforce housing. There are going to be units for people that earn up to 30% AMI, 50% AMI, 80% AMI. So you can see we're going for the whole a whole mixed income level too that's going to take place. It's also going to be a mixed use. We're also going to have a commercial units, about 4,500 square feet of commercial properties along the front that will face Lenny Walker Boulevard. So I think that's going to be really good. And I'd like to just finish by saying it's going to be built to LEED for Home standards. All of our developments in the state of Georgia have been built to LEED standards, and we're aiming to make this a LEED for Gold standards, which means that the benefits really go for the actual residents themselves, who will have much lesser energy consumption and live in a better place. But again, thank you to the whole city of Augusta and its community, and we definitely look forward to being back here for a ribbon cutting, Mr. Mayor. We look forward to that. It takes a little bit of a while, ladies and gentlemen, so please don't get too impatient, but we'll go through that process. Thank you very much for being here today. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm very soft-spoken, so I will speak directly into the microphone. Back in 2008, when the Richmond County Commission funded the Laney Walker Bethlehem Revitalization Project, there wasn't a real vision behind what this neighborhood would become. Multitask. But under the leadership of Hawthorne Welcher, that's taken shape. It's a community that is mixed in income, in demographic. It is young people, it is retirees, it's folks native born to this area, it's individuals who have moved here because of the progress that's been made in housing. We're also seeing economic development now happen along this major corridor, leading into the university, the hospital district, and the medical community, and connecting it once again to what was the Golden Blocks and a history and a culture that is a proud one. The Immaculate Conception School once stood here, and when Hawthorne had the vision to acquire this land, there was a plan that it would be affordable housing for all people. I'm glad to see what you're doing. I'm proud of you. Thank you.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. I'm Joanne Allen Cook, and this is bittersweet for me. Bitter because of what used to be here and is gone, but sweet to know that something better is coming, okay? Ms. Scott mentioned this being hallowed ground, and I consider it to be such, a very sacred space. And I say that because of the fact that, this was a premier Catholic school in this area for blacks. And this is where I received my academic and my spiritual foundation, along with so many other people, to include my maternal grandmother, my dad, of course myself, my children, my grandchildren, and a lot of cousins. So the legacy was very strong. And, traditionally in my family, just about everybody went to Immaculate Conception. On this sacred space, many lifelong friendships were forged. And many people attribute their success to the fact that they passed through the doors of Immaculate Conception Catholic School. And I think our community is a better place because of that. And in closing, I just want to say I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Franciscan sisters who staffed this school. They devoted and dedicated their lives to providing a stellar education for us, as well as the fact that they helped us to become better versions of ourselves. Now, we got a lot of hits on the hand with the rulers. I'm here to tell you. I mean, but you know what? They did it with love. And we all appreciate that so much. So I'm grateful for my journey here. And I am looking forward to the development, as I said, better things to come. So the physical structure is gone, but the legacy of this former great institution lives on in our hearts forever. Thank you.
So good morning. As I stand here, and I was just sharing with Administrator Dowse, typically I don't cry. And I'm not going to look to cry today, but I am filled with a lot of emotions from A to Z. The rebirth of Laney Walker Boulevard is upon us. The rebirth of Laney Walker Boulevard is here. Mr. Mayor, Commissioner Scott, Commissioner Johnson, Administrator Dowse, Parallel Housing, Walter Cooper, Augusta, Georgia Land Bank Authority, Planning and Development, the Augusta Housing Authority, and so many more in the Augusta, Georgia Commission, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity for HCD to once again put forth a development that is truly a best practice not only for the state, for the region, and for the country. On my way over here, I was reminded of patience, was reminded of the reason why, and I was reminded that on these hallowed grounds back in the 80s, probably about right here, right there, I was in first, second, third, and fourth grade as well. You may say, okay, well, Hawthorne, what are you talking about? So my mother gave me a call, and as we do, hurriedly rush through life, and we never really have an opportunity, we never have the time for anything. She said, Hawthorne, all I need is, I know what today is for you, son. But at the same time, only take 1 minute. I only need 1 minute of your time. I need you to listen to something. I said, okay, Mama, come on now, because you know I got to move on. And it was a young gentleman over at Beulah Grove's Preparatory Academy. And he said, my name is Joshua Williams. I am from Augusta, Georgia. I one day want to be a fireman. I want to go to Morehouse College. And I want to be a member of the Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. That was for you, Commissioner. But the point of it all, I think the point of it all is the fact that I was reminded of what today was and how God at that epic time sort of infused into me really the reason and the point of it all. And that is the youth and euphemism, if that's a word. I never had the opportunity as a youth, as a child, to see the Lenox, but I was reminded of those stories. This young gentleman who gave me a call this morning never had the opportunity to see the Immaculate Conception, but he will be reminded of those stories. But this young youth will have the opportunity to see what we have as a combination of the Lenox and Immaculate Conception. So that's the point of it all. Main Street development is upon us. I'm so happy today to be in a position to be able to stand before you all and stand before the world and stand before the region to showcase Augusta, Georgia, and exactly who it is. So at the end of this all, and I'll stop short right here to say, all the thanks and glory, of course, we know where that goes, but all the thanks and glory on these hallowed grounds go to the Department of Housing and Community Development. not to Hawthorne Edward Welcher Jr., but it goes to all of the employees, all of the leadership of Augusta Richmond County, but primarily it goes to our development manager, Ms. Shanna Carcom. And her team, Jamela Cook, Sharon Muhammad. If you all will come to the front, this is your day. This is not my day, this is your day. And Gary Arnett, I don't know, I don't see him. So thank y'all for your enduring ability to be able to put pen to paper based on the mission and the vision that we say forth. Thanks for y'all dire commitment to be sure right now that y'all gonna make sure that the 4,000 to 5,000 square foot of commercial space brings tenants to the area. So at the end of the day, the housing is important for the boulevard. Small business development and sustainment is important for the boulevard. Restaurants is important for the boulevard. Job creation is important for the boulevard. But hope and a blessing is important for the boulevard and us all. Thank you all for your time, and thank you all for being here. Your presence today has surely made a difference. Thank you. You want to take some questions? We'll take some questions at this time.
Any questions? Any?
If the press has any questions or audience has any questions, we'll take questions
Madam
at this time.
Administrator.
Ms. Parkham, is it public information how much you expect this development to infuse into the Augusta economic place?
Yes, it is public information. This did go through the commission approval process. So if anyone wanted to find out about the project, they can go to augustageorgia.gov and then they can look at those documents.
What's the time frame here?
So the planning process is still in place. We're looking at the end of the fourth quarter of this year, hoping to break ground first quarter 2023, but we are on track. 2024. We are on track for progress. Anyone else?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for coming out, and we look forward to seeing you guys at the groundbreaking. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Huh?
Thank you. Good speech. Yeah, the win. That's a good sign.
Hey, bro.
It's so good to see plans on paper. I said so good to see plans on paper. How you doing?
At the lady in the middle? Jamela?
Miss Cook. Oh, did he? I got the going on.
Miss Cook, Miss Cook.
We got one more.
One more.
Sir, if I could have you stand and hold the sign, make sure wind doesn't do that. Miss Cook, I'll get you right there. Everybody sitting in. You're just a little bit more behind the sign. There we go. Y'all face this way just a little bit. Keep the sign where it is, but take a step behind it a bit. Keep a little closer to him. Don't hide behind Hawthorne. Here we go. All right, everybody right here. 1, 2, and 3.
Definitely know this guy.
Everybody knows Gary. Oh, can you come one-on-one questions real quick? Thank you. And they got you. Can I give you this mic? Thank you.
We're gonna do it at one time, or we gonna do it?
Just all one time.
Spare you the drama. Do you have an update across the street yet?
I don't have it as of yet. Zach, I see you, bro. I see you. Thank you. Trying to.
So my first question is, you were talking about during your speech how you're trying not to really get emotional. Kind of tell me about why this is an emotional subject for you personally.
Well, I mean, I think first of all, born and bred from Augusta, Richmond County, county, and one of the things that I promised myself was in life that I wanted to be sure that I was a part of something impactful in life. I had no idea actually what that meant. But, coming back from Morehouse College, I kept being pulled and tugged. I kept being pulled and tugged back to Augusta, Richmond County for something. And this is the reason why. This is that yellow brick road. This is the opportunity to be able to sort of rebirth the area that we've talked about, that we've had a plan on the shelf. It's time to take that plan off the shelf, and now it's time to implement and move forward.
Why is the development of this area important to you, and what's your vision here?
Well, I mean, the first thing is important is because it was a commitment that was made. It was a commitment that was made, from a mindset. There was a commitment that was made from a financial perspective. And at the end of the day, it's all about moving and erasing hope and bringing back, that which is. It's all about validating that hope, validating pretty much that mindset, validating that wisdom of those people, validating pretty much, the want and the need for the area. So a lot of people get caught up in, exactly what it is, but it's actually a need. It's definitely a need. This is a desert, but how long are we going to talk about it? At some point, implementation has to be the one that sort of struts itself across the Yellow Brick Road.
Thank you.
How important is really that true need? I mean, we say it all the time, affordable housing, everybody's looking for it, but how desperate is this area truly for it?
I mean, it really is. When you look at this area and you start talking about right at 400 units of public housing, you also start talking about another 55, 60% of subsidized housing. I think at the end of the day, persons are on fixed income. So where do they go? There are no jobs. And then when you look at it from a standpoint, this is a Main Street development. This is an area in which you have a lot of cars travel every day. There's no grocery store. There are no coffee shops. So at the end of the day, Housing and Community Development Department, I just want to serve the community. At the end of the day, I want to serve the community. I've talked about serving the community. I've given my life to serving the community. So this is what that looks like on this day.
How long is your list of people looking for affordable housing?
So when you look at affordable housing, you start talking about a shortage across the country. You're looking at, millions, about 3 to 4 million persons who need affordable housing all across Augusta, Richmond County. This won't cure it all, but it's definitely a start. We're looking to create what we call a best practice. This is truly a best practice of how to get it done. How do you take 1.5 acres of land and how do you maximize it to be sure that you have housing, that you have a rooftop terrace for people to chill and relax on, but you also have 5,000 square foot of commercial space for your small businesses to come. So we'll help the small businesses as well.
What are some of those options that are right on the table right now that are available for affordable housing here in Augusta?
So I think when you talk about affordable housing, the main one that comes to not only this area but all around, of course, is going to be public housing. It's going to be Section 8, from a HUD perspective. So what we did was do the same thing. We just took funding that we got from HUD and we said, hey, we're going to use it creatively, but we're going to partner with developers who have a higher use or higher level of thinking. And what that is not just to come back and build apartments, but maximize the land by building apartments, giving small business the opportunity not only to develop, but we're going to teach them how to sustain. So we'll infuse funding with them to be sure they sustain for years to come. But not only that, but we want to eat. I want to eat right now. Would you all like to eat? Yeah, we all would like to eat pretty much on the boulevard. And at some point, we have to get away from the names that we're talking about, the historical names of things that people never saw. And somebody has to be the one to really bring that back. So I think Housing Community Development Department, once again, me, making a commitment to myself to be sure that I serve this community and serve this community to the best of my ability.
Commission tonight is tiny homes as well. So where does this stand in comparison to that?
So I think when you talk about tiny homes, that's just also another factor when we start talking about neighborhood and talking about bringing back community. You want to be sure that as persons come and infiltrate into the neighborhood, that everybody doesn't need a yard, everybody doesn't want a yard. So it's just another product. It's another product that we stand behind. It's another product really that we're committing to. And hopefully one day we'll have some of those tiny homes in this area as well.
All right, last question, I'll let you go. So you have this property, you have the tiny homes. Anything else in the future that you think will kind of be in the works to, combat affordable housing?
If I put it out, don't hold me to it, but you're going to put me out to me, so I'm going to put it out to the world. For me, it's up from here. It's up-tiering from here. What does that mean? So we're talking about mixed-use development and bringing in restaurants and those things, but it's also looking at other assets that's in the immediate vicinity that we actually own. We want to be sure that we're using those to the highest and best use. Where's the grocery store? We need to be sure that we have a grocery store in this area too. So soon to come, no commitments on that yet, but I'm going to die trying.
And why is this hollowed ground where the Lenox will be?
So it's hollowed ground for several reasons. One, everybody's infamous of James Brown is sort of who he was. And the Lenox, there on James Brown Boulevard, was a place, for African Americans and others to pretty much go and pretty much let their hair down. Well, it was burned down for one reason only. But I don't want to let that legacy die. This development here was instrumental in who I am, as a person. My acumen, it gave me the academia necessary, the Immaculate Conception School. It was demolished and cleared. It's no longer here. So at the end of the day, we're talking about a Lenox that's no longer here. We're talking about Immaculate Conception School that's no longer here. And I want to be sure that they are here on these hallowed grounds known as New Lenox.
Thank you. Anything that we didn't ask you?
No.
I think we covered
No.
that.
Yeah, I kind of beat you down. I'm sorry.
You did very good.
I don't think we've met before. I'm Alyssa Lyle from Channel 12.
I've seen.
Yeah, I usually don't do the news side of things.
I've definitely seen.
I think that's...
We're kind of sharing interviews over here.
I know, right?
Thank you,
Mr. Welch.
That's the second time I heard that. Thank you. People watching.
Just on your lapel or your shirt, whatever's more comfortable for you. She'll have another one for you right there. And then Hannah's gonna be your favorite, and she don't have to wear hers.
I got you, girl. You got pockets? Okay.
Oh, thank you so much. You can clip that to a belt clip if you want to. Okay. Thank you so much for being with us.
There you go. Is that good for y'all? She good?
Thank you. I wanted to ask you, you mentioned some of the people who might benefit from affordable housing here. Can you talk to me more about why it's important, I'll fix your collar for you, why it's important to you to see that opportunity for people who live out here in this area?
Well, because most of the time that it's hard to find affordable housing. It could be a house, apartment, one bedroom, but the most that I hear from my constituents that they have to move far, far away from work or from where they really want to live is because there's no affordable housing, and especially for the ones who do not want to buy a house right now. We're talking about starting point for some, starting careers for a lot of the constituents. So today is a great day because they put the effort to bring affordable housing to the Laney Walker community. And they're not far, maybe somebody, a nurse, first year nursing, might want to work at the hospital and don't want to move all the way 30, 45 minutes away. They can just ride their bicycles to work, walk. It could be a walking place for you to live.
What is your vision for this area in a revitalization perspective?
I'm looking for amenities, so they won't have to go out of the area. I'm looking for commercial. They might want to go downstairs and get a cup of coffee or a donut or grab a sandwich. I'm looking for a place that, you know, you can have, it could be home, a home away from the hustle and bustle to go all the way downtown or go, you know, to other areas to get what they need when they can just go walk downstairs to get where they want to go, or go out their back door and go to, you know, sit under the gazebo or whatever they have as in terms of amenities for this project.
And what does it mean to have all these agencies, you know, the city of Augusta, the developer, everyone who had a hand in making this project come to fruition?
I think collaboration is the best for a city to thrive. You need the collaboration of the community. The community, number one, need to have the buy-in, because if you look, there are still some houses around here, new structures and houses that's been around for a while. They want to embrace it. So first we need to have the community buy-in, and then I think all city and other governmental agencies should be taking a part in it, because it's not just the city of Augusta, but it's all of Augusta.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Always good to see you.
Right.